Yep, Jamie Ward here alongside me as always, former IBF World Middleweight Champion, Mr. Darren Barker, to bring you all the proceeds from this evening's ceremonial weigh-in ahead of what is, Darren, a huge moment for Patrick Bomber Brown. Listen, he's had all the promo, all the hype. We know he was a great amateur, a Paris Olympian, of course, from 2024, but this is his moment now to go and truly show us how good he is.
The journey begins. This is it. This is the chance to view the debut of what I believe, and many others, a future star. He ticks all the boxes. He's a great lad, but he can fight, he can punch, and like I say, the total package. And that's exactly what you want in a future star.
Done 1,000 tickets out of his own pocket for this show. Not bad for a debut. And as we say, headlining on his professional debut as well, which is certainly a rarity. But in terms of being that future star, the flag bearer for this great fighting city of Manchester, in and around this city, when you look at the great names of yesteryear, he truly believes, Pat, that he can be that man moving forward. Do you?
Yeah, and certainly from what I've seen in the amateurs, you know, you don't get to the Olympics if you can't fight. But I think that popularity is going to grow and grow and grow the more he wins and the more he fights. So yeah, it's going to be a tremendous journey.
And he's a composed character, at least until he starts talking about the fight or visualising the fight. And then he's a man with bad intentions, and that's what Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis and the team have told us. He's almost like a split personality.
And you want that. You want that because the outside demeanour, the nice, friendly gentleman type, helps you get that fan base. And also, it doubles and it quadruples, it triples, or whatever you want to say, when you get in there and you're destroying people. Because that's what people want to see. Let's get it right. People want to see explosive knockouts, and when you've got the spite, the fire, and the power that he has, I'm sure that he will deliver.
And one thing he will say, and he has been saying all week, that he wants to look dominant, wants a mature performance, not to rush his work, but deep down, headlining with all the eyes on him. How do you think he'll be feeling now?
Excited, apprehensive, nervous for sure, but no doubt. And we look to name one of the guys on the undercard, Conor Tusbury. We see him in the first round of his debut, looking spiteful, looking to really do something special. Second round, he got down to biz and done what he does well. I think we'll see the same with Pat Brown. Pat Brown, he might be a little bit fired up. I think as the fight progresses, the seconds progress, you'll see some real class boxing. Well,
the professional debut of Pat Brown against Federico Grandone is your next-gen main event tomorrow from Planet Ice here in Altrincham. First, though, before the bell tomorrow night, 5:30 p.m, Liam Taylor versus Jamie Stewart in the welterweight division. Liam Taylor knows a win here will lock in his mandatory shot against current British welterweight champion Conor Walker later in the year. Taylor Bevin, currently 2-0, 2 knockouts, Commonwealth Games, silver medalist, has looked brilliant so far. Also returns to action for the second time in 2025. And Conor Tusbury, who Darren mentioned there, dazzled in his professional debut 6 weeks ago in Manchester. He's back out for the second time as a professional once again over 6 rounds before we cross live to the DAZN broadcast. 7 p.m. your usual time. And talking of emerging stars, as we said yesterday, it's a huge compliment, Darren, but Eddie's called him the Manchester Golovkin. 7-0, 6 knockouts. 5 of those knockouts have come in the very first round. William Croller back in action. He meets Emmanuel Zion over 6 rounds. Mark Dickinson and Reece Farnhill then contest the English Super Middleweight Championship over 10 rounds before a fight we've been looking forward to for some time. It's built nicely, it's boiled over at times, but now it will finally be settled in the ring. Cameron Vong and Jordan Flynn finally do battle over 10 rounds for the WBO European lightweight title before, of course, your main event, 6 rounds in the cruiserweight division. The professional debut of Patrick Bomber Brown. He's in with Federico Grandone of Argentina in the main event. Well, let's get the fighters to the scales and weighed in with your MC for the evening, Mr. David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the town of Altrincham in Trafford, Greater Manchester for the official weigh-in for a big night of next-gen boxing taking place here tomorrow night at Planet Ice. And it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. It'll be broadcast live around the world exclusively on DAZN. And on the night, we're sponsored by Bet Online, Everlast, Riyadh Season, That Prize Guy, Tom Life Insurance, and Drip. It's a great fight card. We have 7 fights on the card, 2 title fights, and at the top of the bill, Manchester's own Pat Brown be turning over in his much anticipated professional debut. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring the fighters up to the stage so they can face the scale and face each other. Ladies and gentlemen, our first contest, 6 rounds in the welterweight division. Now making his way to the stage, he's an 18-fight veteran fighting out of Stoke-on-Trent. Please welcome Jamie Stewart. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. Professional record, 27 victories, 2 defeats, 1 draw with 14 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Middleton in Lancashire. Please welcome Liam Taylor. Now to the scale, Jamie Stewart. 10-5-4. We're going 10-5-4 for Jamie Stewart. 10-5-4. Now to the scale, Liam Taylor. 10 stone, 6 pounds, 14 ounces. 10-6-14 for Liam Taylor.
Yep, Liam Taylor here then, 27-2. Been out the ring for just over a year when he beat Sam O'Mason last March. Told us yesterday, though, he's always wanted that British title, Darren, and no room for error here because a victory sees him get his shot against Conor Walker next.
Exactly that. This is the fight before the fight. The chance to realise a dream against the tough, aggressive Conor Walker. Jamie Stewart, though, only stopped 1 out of the 10 losses, so going to have to stay switched on.
From Altrincham, England.
6 rounds then. Liam Taylor against Jamie Stewart. Opening before the bell, 5:30 p.m. live on Matchroom and DAZN YouTube channels. Yours truly, Darren Barker, will be calling the blow for blow. On before the bell, one fighter who was a big part of the next gen is Taylor Bevin, who returns to action tomorrow. Back to David.
All right, the weigh-in continues. Our next contest, 6 rounds in the super middleweight division. Now making his way to the stage, his professional record, 5 victories, 3 defeats, 1 draw, with 3 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of the Czech Republic. Please welcome Alice Makovic. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. His young professional record thus far perfect. 2 fights, 2 victories, and they both came by way of knockout. Here is the Team GB Amateur standout, the Commonwealth Games silver medalist, fighting out of Cardiff, Wales, Taylor Bevin. Now to the scale, Alice Makovic. 12-4-10 for Makovic. 12-4-10 for Alice Makovic. Now to the scale, the undefeated Taylor Bevin. 12 stone, 1 pound, 8 ounces for the undefeated Taylor Bevin.
Taylor Bevin certainly captured the attention since turning professional. Back-to-back second-round knockouts. Meets Alice Makovic tomorrow, who did take John Hedges 6 rounds in 2022. Mutual opponent there, Darren. But stylistically, what is there to like about Taylor Bevin?
Well, this don't go 6 rounds. The man has every shot in his arsenal. He really carries power, speed, know-how, self-belief. Great team behind him. This man is the real deal.
Bevin versus Makovic, 6-round super middleweights matchroom boxing live on DAZN from Altrincham, England.
Yep, professional fight number 3 for Taylor Bevin tomorrow on before the bell. Ring walks expected just before 6 o'clock tomorrow evening for that one. And it's a big week for Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis for their gym. 3 fighters in action tomorrow, including, of course, Pat Brown in the main event, Cameron Vong in the chief support, and Connor Tudsbury as well. Here's David.
The next gen weigh-in continues with a 6-round light heavyweight contest. Making his way to the stage at this time, professional record, 3 victories, 4 defeats, 2 draws. He fights out of Bella, Houston, Scotland. Please welcome Robbie Connor. And his opponent making his way to the stage. His young professional record thus far perfect. 1 fight, 1 victory, and that victory came by way of knockout. He fights out of Manchester, England. Please welcome the Moss Side Mauler, Connor Tudsbury. Tudsbury. Now to the scale, Robbie Connor. $12 stone, 12 pounds, 9 ounces for Robbie Connor. 12, 12, 9. And now to the scale, the Moss Side Mauler, Connor Tudsbury. 12, 11, 12 for Connor Tudsbury. 12, 11, 12 for the Moss Side Mauler.
It was 6 weeks ago that Connor Tudsbury made his professional debut in Manchester on the undercard of Catchall Barboza. Second round stoppage win. Good pedigree behind him, Darren, but as you just pointed out to me off camera, this isn't the first time these two have shared a boxing ring.
Yeah, this is a rematch that they fought. Nigel Travis told me it was a close, tough fight. Robbie Connor's got a good pedigree.
Connor Tudsbury, Robbie Connor, 6 rounds light heavyweights, matchroom boxing, live on DAZN from Altrincham, England.
Yeah, represented Scotland, fought Aaron Bowen in the semi-finals of the GB Tri-Nations and lost on a split decision. So, like I say, the pedigree's there.
Second time round, he admitted he was nervous for the first fight. In your second fight, how do the nerves typically compare?
Yeah, they sort of slow down a little bit, they subside, but they're still there, the jitters are there. But what we love about Connor Tudsbury is he has that fire, he has that bit between his teeth, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see him in some epic fight to continue in his career.
You struggled through 6 rounds on your debut and then won by knockout in the second fight, so proof's in the pudding. Hey Darren, we look forward to welcoming Connor Tudsbury back to the ring tomorrow night in this fight, but also William Crawler. Back to David on the stage.
Okay, our next contest, 6 rounds in the super welterweight division. Making his way to the stage, his professional record, 6 victories against 3 defeats. He has 3 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Dulwich, London. Please welcome Emmanuel Zayan. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. Perfect professional record, 7-0, 6 knockouts. Fighting out of right here in Manchester, England, William Crawler. Now to the scale, Emmanuel Zayan. 11-1-14 for Emmanuel Zayan, 11-1-14. Now to the scale, the undefeated William Crawler. 11 stone, 2 pounds bang on for the undefeated Manx Southpaw.
Will Crawler here then, a good fight with Emmanuel Zayan, who's 6-3, never been stopped. The press conference was fun yesterday. Both agree, and this one will be over promptly either way. And when you look at Will, Darren, opening the live broadcast tomorrow night, we joked about it, graduated from before the bell. You said you're going to miss him, but he's very, very, very much earned this, hasn't he?
Oh, absolutely. The way in which he's dispatching his opponents is special.
Okay, we got William Crawler and Emmanuel Zayan, 6 round super welterweights, matchroom boxing live on DAZN from Altrincham, England.
Spoke to Will yesterday. He says the message from his brother Anthony, who's on the stage with him there, just don't get too excited, carried away with your own power that's definitely there. Will believes certainly continuing to show he's not here just because he is Anthony Crawler's brother, but he's here on his own merit. Look forward to that one. 6 rounds, Will Crawler, Emmanuel Zayan, opening the live broadcast tomorrow. Back to David to continue the weigh-in.
Okay, it's the first of our 2 title fights as we go 10 rounds for the English Super Middleweight Championship. Making his way to the stage first, please welcome the challenger. Professional record, 7 victories, 1 defeat with 2 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of West Rainton in County Durham. Please welcome Mark Boo Boo Dickinson. And now making his way to the stage, please welcome the defending titleist. Professional record, perfect. 11-0, 4 knockouts. He fights out of Lancashire. Here is the reigning, defending, undefeated English super middleweight champion, Rhys Farnhill. Farnhill. Now to the scale, Mark Boo Boo Dickinson. 11 stone, 13 pounds, 11 ounces from Mark Dickinson. And now to the scale, the undefeated defending titleist, Rhys Farnhill. 11-13-3 for Farnhill. 11-13-3.
The first of 2 title fights tomorrow night. English super middleweight title on the line. 11-0 Rhys Farnhill. First defence for him tomorrow night against Mark Dickinson. 7-1 now. Bounced back after defeat in Japan with a 6-round points win. Says it will mean the absolute world to him to pick up his first title as a professional. Looking at these two, Darren, stylistically, Mark said he thinks this will steal the show. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think so.
Hill versus
an awful lot on the line here.
The English super middleweight champion.
Farnhill, a proud owner of the English title. Dickinson, desperate to get his hands on it. And yeah, like you say, stylistically, with what's on the line, this will deliver.
Just evaded you, didn't it, that English title?
Well, look, I could come out of retirement and face you for it.
I'm not sure I'd get anywhere near the rankings, to be honest with you, mate. But look forward to that one tomorrow, and we look forward to this one as well, because in boxing we love a grudge match, we love a rivalry. Stakes are high for this one. Over to David Diamante to do the honours.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this next fight is finally here. It's the chief support of the evening, and it very well could be the fight of the night, as Mr. Eddie Hearn from Matchroom Boxing is proud to present 10 rounds for the WBO European Lightweight Championship. Both fighters undefeated, now making his way to the stage. His professional campaign, 11-0, 1 draw, 1 knockout. He's a 3-time amateur national champion. He fights out of Oxford, England. Please welcome Jordan, the Oxford Punisher Flynn. Flynn. And his opponent now making his way to the stage, also undefeated, 7-0 with 3 knockouts, fighting out of Blythe. Please welcome Cameron, the One Vaughn. Vaughn. Now to the scale, the undefeated Oxford Punisher, Jordan Flynn. 9-8-13 for Jordan Flynn. 9 stone, 8 pounds, 13 ounces for Jordan Flynn. And now to the scale, the undefeated Cameron Vaughn. 9-8-11 for Cameron Vaughn. 9 stone, 8 pounds, 11 ounces for Cameron Vaughn.
Here we go then, the third time of asking. Cameron Vaughn and Jordan Flynn finally put it all to bed. 10 rounds for the WBO European lightweight title. Cameron says if he loses, you won't see him again. Jordan says this is a revenge mission for Gavin Gwynn, who he felt was wrongly beaten by Vaughn last time out. Let's listen in.
Gavin, same again tomorrow. Your last time. Same again. You need me. You need me, man.
We've waited for this fight. It's finally here. Jordan Flynn, Cameron Vaughn, 10 rounds for the WBO European Lightweight Championship. 2 undefeated young fighters. Matchroom Boxing, live on DAZN from Altrincham, England.
Cameron Vaughn tipped by many to go on to achieve big things in this sport. Jordan believes he's overrated. All the questions answered tomorrow night. Eddie's picked up the money. Cannot wait for that fight. Your chief support tomorrow night. The rivalry finally put to bed, Darren Barker. What are the big questions for you?
Temperament here. You know, in a fight with so much bad blood on the line is who can hold it together. Both very good fighters. This one's not to be missed.
Can't wait. All the questions answered tomorrow night, and also the main event, the professional battle of Pat Brown. Here's David to do the honours.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome everybody here to Altrincham, England, for the official weigh-in for a big night of next-gen boxing taking place here tomorrow night. And it's now time to weigh in the main event of the evening, as Mr. Eddie Hearn from Matchroom Boxing is proud to present 6 rounds of boxing in International Cruiserweight Contest. Now making his way to the stage, professional record, 7 victories, 4 defeats, 2 draws, with 3 wins coming by way of knockout. Peleando desde Buenos Aires, Argentina, please welcome Federico Grandone. Grandone. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. Tomorrow night, he'll be making his much anticipated professional debut. Here is the 2-time national champion, the 2024 Olympian, fighting out of Sale, Manchester, England, Pat Brown. Now to the scale, Federico Grandone. $14,610 for Grandone, 14 stone, 6 pounds, 10 ounces for Federico Grandone. And now to the scale, Pat Brown. $14,810 for Pat Brown, 14 stone, 8 pounds, 10 ounces for Manchester's Pat Brown.
Looks big on the scales there, Pat Brown. Solid cruiserweight.
Federico Grandone there. The Argentinian flag draped around his shoulders, says he's not here to make up the numbers. But this is your main event tomorrow night, next gen. At this moment in time, will he become a future superstar? The first showing tomorrow, live on DAZN. Pat Brown, welcome to the professional game.
Pat Brown versus Federico Grandone, 6 rounds, cruiserweights, Matchroom Boxing, live on DAZN from Altrincham, England. Main event tomorrow night from Planet Ice.
Well, we are hopefully going to be joined by Mr. Pat Brown. Not a bad atmosphere.
Fantastic.
It's funny, when you hear the fans and you see a type of turnout like this, you just see Eddie Hearn just smiling. He'll no doubt see the potential.
We've said this all along since he signed with Matchroom. He ticks boxes, and this support is real. His pedigree is real. Over to him now.
Well, let's bring Pat in the middle. Pat, great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Good turnout here. That's something we're getting used to when Pat Brown is in town. Weight made, first weigh-in as a professional. Not long to go now. How are you feeling?
Yeah, not long to go. I always bring a few people with me in that. They come far and wide, and yeah, this is it's go time now. Everything's done, refueled up, and I'm ready to put on a performance.
You said to me at the press conference that you were finding it hard to stay on the sofa. You're starting to get a little bit wound up now. How are you feeling facing off with Federico Grandone?
Every time my legs are shaking now, I'm ready to go. Seriously, I'm ready. This is good. This is what I've been missing. You know, I didn't feel these feelings until last summer in the Olympics, and I've missed it big time.
And in terms of everything that comes with this, headlining on your professional debut, no doubt there's pressures, but you know what they say about pressure in this game. What's your message? What's your promise to this crowd? What do you want to deliver them tomorrow?
I'll deliver him the night of the life. I know I will. You know, my cousin, this Sunday, it would have been a year ago since he passed away and left me. So he's still inside me, so he's fighting Pat Brown and Ross Aiken on Friday night. So, yeah, we're all there for him, and we're going to blow that roof off.
Fantastic work. Darren, over to you.
You would have been dreaming of this debut for a long time now. How does that dream play out tomorrow night?
I'm just going to be cool, calm, collected. I'm going to take it all in. I'm not going to, you know, ruin it with nerves and excitement. I'm going to put on a mature performance, you know. This guy's no mug. He's in good shape. He's coming to win the fight. And, yeah, he's game. Game as a badger. He's going to come forward and then, yeah, he's going to feel a shot right on his jaw. And then he's going to know, don't step in front of me.
Little final message, Pat, to this crowd.
Pardon?
Little final message to the crowd in here.
Yeah, just thanks very much for coming. Yeah, we know the dilly-dally boys, don't we?
Pat, wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Tomorrow
Cheers.
night, here is a
Thank
final
you.
reminder of what is coming your way.
Cheers, thanks a lot. Cheers. Thank you very much.
Live on DAZN tomorrow from Planet Ice in Altrincham. 5:30 p.m. before the bell. Liam Taylor versus Jamie Stewart. Big fight that for Liam Taylor. Knows a win will lock in that shot against current British welterweight champion Conor Walker later in the year. Taylor Bevan's dazzled so far, hasn't he? 2-0 with 2 knockouts, fights for the 3rd time as a professional tomorrow night, and then Conor Tudsbury on what is a massive night for the gym. Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis, of course, Pat Brown and Cameron Vong also in action. But Conor Tudsbury, who looked good on his professional debut 6 weeks ago, is back in action. Before we cross live to the main DAZN broadcast, 7 p.m. for the return of William Crolla. 7-0, 6 knockouts, 5 knockouts coming in the very first round. He meets Emmanuel Zion in the opener before the English super middleweight title is on the line as champion Rhys Farnhill meets Mark Dickinson. The chief support, the long-standing rivalry, all the talk is done. It's finally put to bed in the ring. WBO European lightweight title on the line as Cameron Fong and Jordan Flynn finally do battle. And then, of course, in the main event, the professional debut of Pat Brown, who meets Federico Grandone. Eddie Hearn has joined us in the studio. Eddie, when you heard the crowd there, you were smiling from ear to ear. Why?
Because, you know, you've got a ticket seller of incredible numbers, but someone that can really fight. Someone with pedigree, someone that's been in the big tournaments around the world, someone that represented GB in the Olympics, and someone that sold more tickets on his professional debut than probably any fighter in the last decade, 2 decades, I don't know. And tomorrow night you'll see it live. And I'm excited about the following, but I'm really excited about the fighter. You know, I spoke to people who've sparred in this camp, and they just say, oh, what an horrible handful. You know, he's all action. He's exactly what the public love to see. And it's a really good card tomorrow night. You know, we were just saying, even before the bell, you know, Conor Tudsbury's in a tough fight. William Crolla's in a really, really good fight. Taylor Bevan's opponent looks bang up for it as well. And, of course, Cameron Vong, Jordan Flynn, great fight. Farnhill Dickinson, really, really good fight as well. And I managed to pick up the 1,000 dong as well on the floor, which was a right time. During the weigh-in, I was asking someone to Google the translation for that 1,000 dong. Probably a quid, but we're not leaving it on the floor.
What's impressed you about the character of Pat, particularly this week, and the composure he's shown?
Just a real hard-working, honest individual. You know, when we sat down and we had our conversations with him, he was talking to every other promoter. We just clicked. We just got on. You know, we just believed in each other. I know that when I'm investing in a fighter, I need quality and ability, but I need someone with a great work ethic that's not going to all of a sudden go off the boil, start getting too big for his boots, not training properly. Pat Brown's going to give it 110% every day of the week. He's a proper Manchester lad with a real great head on his shoulders, great work ethic, great mindset, and really the only thing that can stop him is his own work ethic, which is unquestionable, and ability, and he's got it all. So just got to be a little bit calm tomorrow night. It's actually a good matchup. This is not a guy that's going to come and just cover up after 30 seconds and walk away. I hope he's not as tough as the Argentinian Palacios that we had in Sydney last week against Katiev, because he was unbelievable. But we want someone that comes to fight back a little bit. I mean, that's the pressure of headlining your own show. The great thing about Next Gens is people like, you know, Cameron Vong, people like Mark Dickinson, people like William Crolla can get those main event slots in front of a decent crowd and really experience that pressure. But Pat's headlining. And in your debut, that brings another element of pressure. So you don't want to go out and be wild and get carried away and walk onto one. You're not talking about guys, you know, super bantams and feather. These are big guys. And the great thing about the cruiserweight division is they can punch and they've got explosive speed. You make a mistake and you walk onto one, it doesn't matter how many tickets you've sold. So the experience that Pat Brown has gained over the years will help him in that respect. Stay calm, listen to Jamie and Nigel, and go and box well and entertain, and he'll knock this kid out.
You mentioned 3 words there: calm, pressure, nerves. You as a promoter, when you've got the total package there, do you sit there nervous, hoping that they deliver? It's the perfect debut.
We all know the game. You know, we know that anything can happen, and we know that tomorrow night Pat Brown is a big favourite against a decent fighter, that he should go in there and knock out and get the whole of the city, the whole of the country excited about the journey of potentially the next star of British boxing, the next big star, someone that can fill up the Co-op, someone that can fill up the Manchester Arena, you know, and all of a sudden the kind of performance that I think he can give can get people very excited. But, you know, when that bell goes, it's over to them. You know, we've done our thing. We've given him the big build-up, completely sold out. The roof, you'll see tomorrow, you'll see a really special atmosphere. I'm talking Ricky Hatton levels from the early days. I'm talking Johnny Fisher now. I'm talking Josh Warrington in Leeds. It's the same kind of vibe, and this is the guy to lead the charge of Manchester over the next few years. But it's a fight game and anything can happen.
Chief support. We finally see it. The third time of asking Cameron Vong and Jordan Flynn put it all to bed, the long-standing rivalry. What are your big questions tomorrow ahead of that one?
Well, I mean, I think it's a good time for Jordan Flynn to get this fight. You know, originally, first time around, no one gave him much of a shot in the fight. He's a good young fighter. He's a three-time national champion. He's undefeated. But at the same time, Cameron Vong, you know, the hype was off the scale. Now, it was a big step up against Gavin Gwynn, but it was a very close fight. And I don't think he boxed to his full potential there, even though he was probably moved a little bit too quick. Now you're reversing a little bit, but there's a lot of pressure on Cameron Vong because now there's a little bit of doubt. You know, and if I'm Jordan Flynn, I'm probably more confident now than I was when the fight was first made. And, you know, Cameron's got to go and make a statement tomorrow night. When we talk about fighters with tremendous ability and hype, you've got to go and beat people like Jordan Flynn. Because Jordan Flynn's a guy that, you know, he's an English level guy, maybe a guy that can go on and fight for the British title. Cameron Vong is supposed to be this world level prospect that's going to go on over the next couple of years and fight for a world title. Well, if you are, you have to be going through the levels. But now you've got the pressure of the Gwynn fight, a few critics, a few doubters. I think that'll bring the best out of Cameron Vong tomorrow.
Do you think Jordan's got under Cameron's skin at all?
I think Cameron can't stand him. I mean, you know, up there he's like, I just can't do it. And I can't listen to you. I mean, you know, and that's who knows. I think, you know, sometimes a loss can really, you know, evolve you as a fighter. What happened with Cameron was it was a fight that he could have lost. It was a very close fight, but he got the win. But the same lessons from a defeat in a fight like that will be absorbed. And I think that will make him a much better fighter. To come through 10 hard rounds like that against someone like Gavin Gwynn will evolve you so much. And I'm hoping that we see big improvements from Cameron Vong tomorrow night because I think it's time for him to make a statement.
Final one on Will Croller. I mean, you've compared him to a young Gennady Golovkin, the way he turns them shots over.
That's big, you know, I'm the hype man. Listen, I'm your favourite hype man, right? And I honestly believe that Will Croller has freakish punch power. And it's all very well like breezing through low-level opposition. But the last fight particularly was a guy that basically always goes the distance against very talented young fighters. And Will stopped him in the first round. And it was a freakish kind of shot, you know, and sometimes he turns his knuckles over, he throws them from different angles as well.
Like Golovkin.
Yes, there you go. And I think that this fight is actually a big acid test for him because all of a sudden, when you're coming through and you're knocking people out and everyone's getting, you know, out of control on the hype, every now and again you just reach the moment where you just get a little bit of a gut check and you're in with someone that doesn't just go over when you land one on the chin and someone that does fire back and someone that's got decent fundamentals as well. And this is the fight he's in tomorrow. You know, there's a lot of people, when you make a good fight on the undercards, always people that can't go, you know, he's in a tough fight, you know. I mean, you did it earlier with Conor Tudsbury. You know, those two fought in the amateurs in a very good fight. A lot of people expecting Conor Tudsbury to be in a good fight tomorrow night. But I've had 3 or 4 people say to me about Will Croller, that's a serious fight, you know. And if you get carried away with it, and I probably don't help, all of a sudden you can come unstuck over 6 rounds against someone that all of a sudden takes the shots, firing back. So nice and composed, but I rate Will Croller. I mean, what a dark horse, Will Croller.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, this is a kid I used to see in the changing rooms when Ant was fighting for the world title. He was, I don't know how old he was, 15, 16, 17. I didn't even know he boxed back then. Then I found out he was a decent amateur, but, you know, went off the rails and didn't really... And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's like we've been gifted with this top prospect, big ticket seller, likeable guy, and really exciting. Like dynamite in his hands.
How far away from the domestic guys at 154 pounds, Sinead Bostan and...
I think you'll find out. I think you'll find out tomorrow night. I mean, this isn't going to tell us if he's going to go on and be a world champion, but it's going to tell us if he's ready to start moving to 8 and 10 for English title level and British title eliminators. If you keep breezing through these levels, you just keep going. You know, you don't mess it all up and go too fast, but you also don't tread water. And, you know, maybe he's got it. Maybe he's the real deal. But I'll tell you what, when you carry power, it makes such a big difference. Darren knows. I mean,
61% knockout ratio.
Exactly.
And on that note, it's time to end. Great night, great card of next-gen action coming your way tomorrow from Planet Ice here in Altrincham. 5:30 p.m. before the bell, 7 p.m. DAZN broadcast from myself, Jamie Ward, Darren Barker, Eddie Hearn. We'll see you tomorrow, as of course, in the main event, it's a big warm welcome to professional boxing for Pat Brown.
I remember walking in when I was 7 years of age. I could smell the sweat and people were whacking their bags. I never left one to walk through the doors. It's been the dream ever since I opened my eyes. Boxing is just my life. My fighting style will be aggressive, speed, power, the lot. I'm in the middle of the ring, ready to go whenever. I don't mind having a bit of a tear up, that's my guilty pleasure. Definitely a good coach behind me, which I have in Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis, and obviously my dad. It's a massive dream for me to fight at Old Trafford. Being from Manchester as well, it'll be a great privilege to box there. Been here my whole life, but alone now. Who is Pat Brown? A lad from Manchester, born and bred.
Fight Night on DAZN, brought to you by That Prize Guy.
Okay, wait, hold on. Look, I still feel like we can both get what we want.
So, what's your deal?
I've got this condition where I don't feel pain.
You're a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
You're not Wolverine. You can still die.
Oh my God! Come on, really?
Huge Home Alone fans, apparently.
Novocaine in cinemas now.
Hello, darlings. Aunt Helga. Futuristic scooters, old school website. Relax, web upgrades, I own them. Better design, e-commerce, and smart AI. Now you're fit for the future. I scoot off now. Your digital partner, Ionos.
Fight Night on DAZN, brought to you by That Prize Guy.